What is going on, guys? It's your boy Az. We are back here with another video for you guys. Today, we're going to be just quickly talking about the Quasar trials. That is going to be coming later at the reset, and I actually wanted to do this yesterday, but I just didn't have the time for it. We're fighting a little bit of a cold here in our household, and I didn't get enough time to do it, and then I kind of just crashed on my couch. So anyways, so I do apologize. It's a little bit late in the day to be pumping this guy out here, but I do hope that some of the information on here is helpful for you guys. And today I definitely wanted to quickly chat about basically the two teams that we need for having these trials done here, and you can get basically all these. Actually, you know what? Let me just back up a bit here. So the Quasar trials, they've been basically doing these ones almost every month now, and it's nice because whether you're early game, mid game, or late game, you'll definitely get something out of it. Maybe not perhaps everything, but if you are starting in the game, you can kind of start working towards Quasar, which is, if you don't know who he is basically a great plug and play character in so many game modes, and he is kind of like what a legendary character should be. Whether you are like newer, he's going to be a great addition to your roster, or if you're mid to late game, he's going to be awesome just to have as a plug and play in a multitude of different situations, Cosmic Crucible, War, even in Arena. He's really great. His stats are overall balanced, and his abilities are pretty awesome. He's also going to be needed for for future Dark Dimensions. If you guys are going through that, he's going to be needed for other trials involving like Blastar and Thunderstrike as well. And of course, as well with Annihilus around the corner here, he'll be an essential part of the Galactic Council. So either way, you need him, and we'll talk about how we can get him. But yeah, I don't know how many points. I always forget the math. You have to go into the trials when it is live, and then we can basically have the playthrough of it. But yeah, you can if you're maxed out and you got you've been doing this and you're kind of familiar with this event, then great. We get the free 20 or 10, sorry, 10, 20 orb fragments. There's 20,000 there, but yeah, you'll get 10 orbs there. You'll get his 4-star unlock, red star, sorry. And unfortunately, yeah, still nothing higher than a 4 red, which is really crappy. But hopefully they do give his reds out sooner than later. He's not really even a year old yet, so it doesn't surprise me that they haven't really given out his reds. Usually the typical pattern is they give Odin and Fisto and like Professor Xavier, or I guess he hasn't really been given, but the X heist was nice, or the recurrent Cataclysm came back in under a year, so he got access to his red stars and all that other stuff. But now I'm kind of rambling here, sorry guys. So yeah, so either way, his event's coming back here, so we'll quickly talk about how we can maximize whether you're mid, late, or early game. But you only really need two teams, so hopefully you guys can see the screen here in front of me. And yeah, basically we'll have 10 nodes, and if you can take a chance to kind of analyze it, but basically the first two nodes, you don't really need restrictions. So basically, if you have a lot of really powerful characters, you could load up on all the modifiers, and you could literally just do the first two nodes, and you'd probably be able to get at least half, or if not more, of the milestones. Just if you're an end game player. If you're mid game, you may be able to squeeze it through, but it would probably be pretty tight here. But otherwise, you only really need two teams, and I've kind of preached about these two teams over and over in some of my other videos. But Vigilantes will basically cover more than like pretty much about half. It'll take you to node 4, and then of course we'll switch over to Fantastic Four, and then lastly we'll finish off again with Vigilante and Fantastic Four. So you don't really need Thunderbolts. You don't really need a Cursed, and it does suck because these recurring events, they weren't always gated by the yellow stars, but now they after the chapter 1 ended, then they revamped it and they added the stars as requirements, which is kind of a pain in the ass actually, especially for newer players, right? So it is too bad that they did that, but I can understand why, because then they kind of wanted you to like participate when it did come out. But if you weren't playing the game, then you shouldn't get punished for it back then, right? So to me, it's a little silly they did that. But anyways, that's just my 2 cents. But as you can see, like I said, those two teams will be key for basically doing the entire run. So switching back to my game now. So like I already said, like you only really need the two teams. So we already focused on Fantastic Four right away here, even on my baby account, actually. And on the baby account, you can see here that we don't have everyone at 5 yellow, which is kind of where the limiting factor is. But we'll see how many mods we can do, and we'll see if we can even get Quasar unlocked, even on my baby account. I haven't ran it again since these trials were like initially done with even with the beginner accounts. So this is the reason. This is actually one of the reasons why I want to start my baby account, because a lot of that information that we've previously known, it's not really reflective of that anymore because of all the stuff that's changed, all the new metas, all the new characters. So that's kind of the reason why I started the baby account in the first place. And secondly, people were saying like, oh, don't invest in vigilantes. Vigilantes is on the way out. They're a waste of resources. But the problem is even with vigilantes, they're still a great raid team. They do a lot in the game, and you're gonna need them for Blastar trials. You're gonna need them for Thunderstrike trials because they're required, right? You're gonna need Quasar and vigilantes for the Thunderstrike raids. If they do copy and paste the same format, you're gonna need them again. So I don't believe the vigilantes is completely finished yet. Like I said, people will have their own opinions of it, but in my honest opinion, I've seen it how you basically need them still for all these game modes, and of course they're such a great raid team, and they're great in Cosmic Crucible, they're great in War. This is the reason why I focused on that team specifically in my baby account. So that's kind of it for there. But anyways, so back to my main account. So as I already said before, you only really need those two teams. You need Fantastic Four and you need Vigilantes, and you'll basically clear the entire nodes of all the sections. I don't know how many nodes we're going to need. I always forget how many because I always get confused with the Blastar trials, but I do believe we should be able to get it done depending on the mods. We should be able to get through most of it, I think pretty much up until the last 2 nodes, depending on how many mods you stack on. And if you stack on more mods, then it's going to be less node requirements, right? But yeah, we'll kind of mess around and we'll run a little guide walkthrough of it later on today. I'll be in meetings in the afternoon when the event does go live, but I'll play through it later on and kind of slap something out for you guys so you guys can have a look. But otherwise, I hope this is beneficial. I hope this has helped you guys out. Oh, sorry, before I forget, courtesy of the MSF Council Discord, I had spotted this early in the morning today. We did actually have another promo code, Infinity. So it's going to give you some decent materials here and there, and it's good. It's always nice to get free stuff. So make sure you guys get that, get punched in and entered before it's gone. It usually expires in about a week or so, or something like that. And on that note as well, you want to make sure you also punch in the other one that's expiring today. It's ironic because the MSF Council posted it on their Discord, but the MSF Council code is also going to be leaving today. So make sure you guys get that entered in before the reset. Otherwise, guys, I hope this has helped you guys out. Hopefully, it gives you a little bit of insight, whether you're new, whether you're mid game, whether you're end game. And if it was just a total waste of time, I do apologize. I'm just rehashing out some of the same stuff then over and over. But I do find that if it even helps at least one person out, then I feel like I've made it worthwhile. So anyways, guys, always a pleasure. Always a wonderful time. I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.